Assalamu alaikum, my dear friends. Welcome to part 3 of the TDF Science Museum. I hope you aren't too disappointed of the release of part 3 of our new video in Pakistan, because we divided it into 3 parts so it can be easily entertaining and fun for you to all discover it. So now we have entered the next area, in which you can finally see some of the traditions in Pakistan, like rickshaws and decorated ones, and even the decorated truck which was back here. Most of our cousins were fascinated of how they brought such a thing inside, but I think I knew that it was brought inside by a crane, because I've heard that in showrooms they bring the cars for display in the by a crane, because they're too heavy to be lifted by just a single human. So on the side there's a magnetic area in which small little magnetic squares can be used to make amazing designs and custom designs on the truck. But apparently there are very limited amount, so that's why you can't properly make it. And inside here in the compartment you can see Hamza inside the decorated truck. I think he likes it because of the design. So as you can see, like in the first video, there is Waleed distracted with all these gear slides, and then actually he's the type kid to be distracted so much. So over here is an air bubble pipe where you can put balls inside and then it goes by air. The air is so strong that it can easily suck in. So as you can see here in the air bubble pipe, you can easily put it inside and then make the ball go through. So now Hamza has finally took his turn, and then now is showing us all of how he's a boy who's interested in many vehicles, and then especially driving. So like most boys, he's the type to be a kid like that. And on the back you can easily ride on. So over here we have another interactive activity. So at the bottom you can put a ball, and then when you press the button, the air pushes it up. So back here, so now over here you can see a small little tub in which you can easily find out how wind in the past helped boats to easily steer. So back here, since the truck was so huge, you could use giant tires. So apparently we didn't have time to introduce this activity or do this activity, because the fans weren't on, and apparently we didn't know how to operate it because we're not the staff. So now we are heading into another fun activity. Over here you can easily see how in some places you can easily find how water and systems work. So just like in the truck, Hamza is gathering his attention in it, and now we are heading into another fun area in which, just like I said before, you can easily find out how most engineers build energy, and how storms are formed, and how they're used to create energy. So over here we have a model dam in which it stops the water from coming in or getting out, and there are some levers to show you that. And as you can see here, the water wheel doesn't have any motors, and it uses the help of water to do it. And back here you can easily see how a storm is formed, and over here you can easily slide a ball through water. And let's see, just like in water parks, how it helps us to slide down. So over here are some water guns to help you show how it spins water wheels from the sides, because this finally explains that the force of water is what is needed for the modern gathering of energy, just like before. So over here is another extremely fun area, which is not really related to the water area, but over here you can easily put balls inside air holes, just like in other areas, and then with the powerful force of the air, it goes up through the pipes, and then it comes down in another area. So this is very complex and high. As you can see, there's some of the balls we put in are speeding through the area. That is because there was air who pushed it with the force. I think if you can keep track of the ball, so please comment down and tell us. So just like before, Waleed is still interested in doing like water slide, this one. So over here is another glimpse at a dam. And there's a giant water wheel to show how even the biggest ones can be turned easily. So in this area where I am putting the balls can go up easily, and then it comes through some mini slides, and then more and more areas come. So in this area, when the ball comes down, you have to ring the bell and then you win the game. So sometimes the ball gets trapped, but luckily when you put more, then it comes down. So over here, my cousin Hamna, as you know in the first video, has discovered another fun area which I think was visible, but these other things got us distracted. So over here, you can easily access the track and then make it the way you want it to go, or make it when you wanted it to win. So over here, it's a huge ship to easily show how many people catch fish and then deliver it to cargo. So over here you have two fishing rods with magnets and magnets on the fish to easily catch it. But I'm not perfectly sure of how it was supposed to be caught, because the ropes were small and we couldn't see it enough. So just like in other activities, I've reviewed this before, that Waleed is distracted again in this water wheel. So over here you can easily see how the force of the water does to the water wheel when it comes and when it's closed, and then how the water wheel reacts. So again we're heading into another fun area which we have to go through stairs, and up here is the view of where we were before. The one thing we didn't notice was the Pakistan International Airline plane, which we couldn't see because it was very high above. So as you can see, when we go through the stairs, there's a cutted pattern in which it helps you to realize that it's a small little pattern to make you realize it. So over in this area, you can easily analyze all about your body parts, and here is a small model of the heart. And there are some more small exhibitions in which you can easily find amazing things. So up here is a view of the entrance, in which you can find on the first area, and over here is the crystal emblem, which actually isn't real. It's made by glass and then a twisting meter and a small little light inside. So in here you can find TVs that show you all about it, and then over here is where you can easily monitor all your X-ray activities. So in this bicycle, when you step on it and then paddle, it easily shows what you're doing on the skeleton screen. So over here is one exhibit in which you can easily find out what electricity reacts when you do it. So over here is amazing fun thing. I think it was some kind of dream, because when with the hand the bolt was controlled, but even though it's electricity, it's still dangerous. So I was not really sure what that thing was, but I was pretty sure that it's dangerous because it uses electricity. So over here is a blurry light tube, and back there is a turn on and off screen. So over here is a small little tub in which when you press one of the buttons, you can see red, green or blue laser lights. So when you press buttons at a time, as you can see, the lasers form. But it can only happen when two people do it at a time. So in this room there is another exhibit that is connected with that one, and over here it shows how the pictures change by the light and without no outlines of the back area. But I figured that this happens when there is a small little disc projector that moves every time the light changes. So I guess it's right, but whatever you think, please comment down below and tell us. So over here we are all distracted in the light area, and over here you can see some wheels, which I think wasn't related to science, but whatever. So back here in the exhibit, we are all our aunt found something else amazing, in which you can put the triangles in the light to see how they react and form different lines of shapes. So over there you can easily see how you can turn on and off the electric circuit thing, which actually got me hyped because I knew we were gonna study about electric engineering as well. So now Walid and Hamza are doing another trick. As you can see, the lights light up, and over there you can see the lasers. But even putting your hand inside is a bit dangerous because these bolts aren't sometimes not projected and they're real. So as I told you before, when you ride this bicycle and then pedal, you can easily monitor your activity and then see how it moves and flexes to help your muscles move the pedals and then exercise. So in this area, when you stand in the camera, you can easily see all your activity doing in the screen when you stand in the camera, and over there on the other screen you can see what your x-ray is doing. And on the walls beside me there are all the types of viruses and their effects on your body. For example, fungi, dengue, and then stuff like that. So as you can see, even if you do swift activity like Hamza, you cannot really see the skeleton moving it. So mainly our cousin and I thought that there was something wrong with the projector, so we left it. So over here is the design of your DNA and a brain, in which when you stand on a paddle, the light parts of the brain light up to easily show you in which area you are gliding. And they were also labeled but were too small to see. So as you can see, when I move, and there are some colors lighting up like back there, and there were also normal colors that easily highlighted which type it was. So over here you can easily do some kind of micro hand test, but neither me or Walid understood it, because I think this science museum is too complex. But when you visit when you have your experience here, tell us all about it. So over here are all your 5 senses and your effects and use of it. So over here is some kind of puzzle, flex puzzle, in which you put your hands and feet over here to match. But I think this was nothing else because my cousin Hamna was sliding. So Walid is now trying again, or I think just crawling normally and sliding like Hamna. So Walid is thinking that when he stands into the board, all his skeletonic activity is being monitored. But it seems like Walid is doing some weird activity, and I think the camera over there doesn't really do something well. But when you stay in front of the screen, you can easily see what you're doing. But the skeleton moves away from up and down to right and left, and then you can't easily see the skeleton properly, which also made us think that there was a glitch. So over here you can assemble parts of your heart and then easily see how they're classified as. So we're going into another interactive area. Over here you can see a crystal lighting up and some neurons. Neurons are called the cells of the brain, but I'm not pretty sure about it. So what is your answer? Comment down below. And now here's another brain test activity in which when you go inside, you have to hit everywhere you can find, because some places are mirrors and you can easily hurt your head. So actually, even though we can see ourselves on the sides, we didn't realize it was mirrors. So over here, there is another mirror, and then the thing was that to hit the walls and then see if there are mirrors or no, and then find a real area and then through the exit, because this is some kind of brain activity maze. And also there were mirrors easily retracting and showing all the things at the back and in the front of the radio. So we are making our way out, but some of us were doing it effortlessly, so that's why we almost made it out. But with our effort of us all together, and then also my cousin and aunt, we finally found a way out. Or I think we did. At last we have made it through the exit, and then I thought we were in some other different area, but I knew there was something fun waiting for us. But it turns out we were going to another area. So over here you can easily see some IQ test riddles to find out that if you're smart enough to find out anything. So over here is the anti-gravity room. Actually, anti-gravity can't actually happen, but over here is another brain test activity, and I don't know what that is, I guess. So over here is another optical illusion but with no instructions. So I guess it's just a fail. So over here is another exhibit but turns out it's under maintenance. So over here is a funny face of a cat being turned and twisted around. So as you can see, when the opposite things happen in the opposite areas, you can see them in a different way. So over here is a small little test with these triangular 3D glasses to easily find out if you can throw without seeing properly. So here's another anti-gravity room we could all bear with the force. Actually, it was an anti-gravity room, but it was tilted a bit. So over here we don't have trouble bearing it. By the way, it's fun, and actually most of the kids who are visiting this area got out by the wall over there. So now this is truly an anti-gravity room we all couldn't bear. So a woman told us that the danger if we don't hold on to the wall or the shelves, we might hurt ourselves badly. So over here is another museum type, but a bit tilted because anti-gravity room should be without gravity and it all should be extracted, and there should be no exits for the gravity to come in or go out. So as you can see, our cousin and our aunt are having trouble keeping up. So the rest of us got out because we didn't want the other danger to happen. But I guess our cousin and aunt were brave enough to easily handle this. But what do you think about them? Please tell us. And also they're very brave, so that's why you can appreciate all their effort of getting out. So here is another test I mentioned before, in which you have these triangular or weird glasses. I don't know what to call them. In which it shows you if you can throw out the ball in it without seeing properly. So over here is where you can easily know all about sound and noise pollution. And over here are some air extracted holes in which when you tap them, the air doesn't go in properly, and then it can easily create sounds. But actually I don't know how to play so many songs, so that's why it was just pure chaos over there. So over here you can say everything all you want, and then in the other pipes someone else can hear it. So over here were many ear hearing tests, and over here is it's a small little structure to show you how sound waves move. I remember when I was grade 3, I made this small little project which I made out of tape but not gummy bears. So Waleed is also again interacted and improved with this activity, so I'm sure you'll love all his little work of doing it. So over here was some unknown thing, but we ignored it. And over here is when you spin it, you can see unusual shapes of the string. So here's a closer look of what happens to the strings as soon as you spin them. So they're creating some unusual shapes, almost like some kind of animated cartoon. So over here you can easily see how sound can make things move. In a cartoon I saw someone was rocking with a speaker, and then it was on a table full of sand, and then you can easily see it move and turn into unusual shapes. So the instruction was to put your hand in the cold water and then press them on for like 5 minutes on the handle, and then see all the kinds of smudges you can find. The water was really cold that I got it out even after a split second, so that's okay. I tried all my effort, but apparently nothing appeared, so I guess this was just a waste of time. So just like I mentioned about the cartoon before, you can easily see with a screen of how sound can easily create movements of the sand. I tried, but apparently nothing happened, or maybe they didn't put the label of this exhibit being under maintenance. So over here is another sound related activity in which you have to tap the holes again with foam fingers. You can easily find from there. So over here was another small little activity in which you can create sounds to create unusual shapes. I actually saw this and then mentioned this a while ago in the cartoon I watched. So I was very fascinated of seeing this in real life. Actually, the show I watched was also reality. So over here is a square divided mirror in which you can see divided into small little pieces and puzzles that are like almost creating a circular motion. So apparently you can't see our whole face because of the squares over there. So now we are heading into another human related activity. So up here we are going into another area, and as you can see ahead there are some gears that show a small little pattern above, but when we were walking we only saw bits. So if you spot all the whole number of gears, so tell us down in the comment below. So apparently the stairs were long and took a bit long time to easily get there, but you can see me and Waleed are in a rush to find out what the real activity is. I saw the planet Earth in the sky, and I thought that we were learning about space and the sky and all its natures and dark matter. So over here you can see an old time plane, and then more and more people are actually involved over here. I think this is a wind related activity. So over here you can see another sound related activity, but this was the only one here, so we can ignore it. But apparently we didn't have enough time to check it, and then we had to leave down. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and please like, share and subscribe it. I can also explain in the back, but I think I was wrong because I didn't know the thing that would happen because this was a few days ago. So over here you can easily find lots of experiments that you can use wind to create for, and over here were actually a bit complex things, and then the plane was equipped to easily give it a sky effect. So over here you can easily make balloons float by the force of the air, and then it automatically looks like that they're floating and then you can't catch them. So we are making our way out, but some of us were doing it effortlessly, so that's why we almost made it out.